Hello, everyone. This is episode number 4 of Buying Your Dream Home in 2023. Welcome back, everyone. Today, I am going to. This is a very hot topic in today's market because a lot of buyers want to buy. A lot of first-time home buyers actually want to buy the first home in today's market. And by the way, this is March. This is April, which is also the time that a lot of home buying and home selling activities in Arizona. So I just want to give you an overview. A very important topic today is to give you an overview of home buying process works. So that a lot of you thinking don't know what to start and don't know how long it takes. That is very most common question that I have from first time home buyers. So in today, hopefully I'm gonna answer a lot of questions from you. If you do have any question from me, feel free to put a comment there and I'm gonna see it right away on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You just put a comment and I will be able to see your comments and your question right away. If you review the video, the recorded videos, feel free to put a comment as well because as soon as I receive the email notification, I will be able to answer it to you also. All right. So let's just dive right into the home buying process. All right. So this is a start. Okay. You should always start to talk to someone who has experience. Okay, it could be your friends, it could be your families, it could be your neighbors, whoever just recently bought a home. Ask them how the process looks like. What do they like about it, and what they don't like about it? What kind of experience that they have? Okay. Now you can also interview a couple of agents as well, real estate agents as well, because they also because first of all, you need someone who can be with you for the entire process. So while asking your friends, your neighbors, and your family's members, maybe helpful information upfront for that, so that you understand the overall process. And the agent gonna be the one who follow you, walk with you through the entire process. There's one question asking about how much is an agent there. So overall, the cost for the buyer agent. Okay, how much does it cost? Sorry, I tried to type in the question here. How much does agent cost? Okay, it is absolutely right now. You don't have to pay for agent cost as a buyer. Okay, the buyer doesn't pay the agent directly. Okay, the seller normally is the one who's gonna pay the agent cost. Okay, so it could be really depend on the seller and the listing agent's determination. It could be ranging from 1%, 2%, 3% is mostly the maximum, but once in a while there's someone that pay 3.25 as well if the home hasn't been sold for a while. Okay, it could be 1% also, or it could be a flat fee of 1,000. It's really depend on the seller and the listing agent at that point. As far as for the buyers, you don't get the buyers do not have to pay. It is not one of the costs coming out the pocket from the buyer's pocket. Okay, um, that's a great question, by the way. So but the very first step you have to do is to talk to a real estate agent and interview a couple of them because not everyone has the same. Ask them, hey, how long have you been in the business? Hey, is this your full time job or you just work as a part time? Yeah, right? Just a side work for you. Okay. How many transactions do you close? Did he or she close within the last 12 months, for example? Because you don't want to even though if they are in the business for 5, 10 years, they have broker license and things like that, right? If they don't close any transaction or maybe only one or two transactions for the last 12 months, perhaps they do not have any experience with negotiation. They're not familiar with the market anymore. So is that the right person to guide you through the process? Okay, so that is the reason why you always interview couples agents and do not just go randomly with person that is recommended by your friends or your family member. Well, they are good, right? Helping your friends and your family already. You have to do your own due diligence as well. You have to do your own interviews as well so that you feel comfortable. Because here's the thing, on top of experience, on top of knowledge about the process, it's just a different person gonna have different personality to work with. What if you don't like how that agent work, even though they have a really good knowledge, really good experience, really good negotiation skill, but it's just the personality type is not just your type, right? Then it is not a good fit for you and your family, right? So that's why I'm interview 2 or 3 agents so that you get an understanding how he works and how knowledgeable he or she is. Okay, if you are interested in receiving a copy of like 10 questions that you should ask your buyer agents, let me know. Send me a direct message and I will send it to you right away. Okay. So the next step that we have to do is after you talk to the agent, you have to find out how much you actually qualify for. Okay. Now, if you do have cash, all right, if you like have $400,000, $500,000 in the bank, and if you want to use the entire money for the house, for the purchase of the house, feel free to do so. Okay, but if you do taking on a mortgage, just like 90 or 95% of the buyers on the market, right? You do have to have a conversation with the lenders to be able to so that he or she can give you a good understanding of how much you can qualify for. Why is that important? Because we don't want to set a number that a random number and rely on that. Because what if you set it so low? Putting the number low is helpful in terms of gonna give you some flexibility, like do not have so much of loan, right? But it's gonna limit your options on the market. You may not be able to see the house that fits you. Or if you set the number too high, then potentially you not qualify after you see the house. So what's the point of doing that, right? So talk to a loan officer similar to an agent, right? Ask for 2 or 3 people and then interview them to see whether you're comfortable with him or her or not, right? And then ask about the process, how it works, how the loan process works, to see whether he or she is knowledgeable about the loan application or not. Okay, so talk to the lenders. The loan officer is the second step to nail down the qualification, and at least have some pre-qualification form from them, so that it is very important. I'll tell you in a minute, because that process is like, you don't want, because the next step that we're going to do is to go search for house. Okay, and the step after that is to make an offer. So you don't want to wait for the pre-qualification to be able to make an offer, because in some situation the homes goes very fast, especially in today's market as well. It's already back to the seller's market. Okay, so it is a lot of competition, a lot of offers in one listing if it is nice. So you don't want to wait for the pre-qualification from the lender to be able to make an offer, because to be able to make an offer, you do have to have that form to make sure, so that the listing agent believes that you are qualified for the loan. All right. So after you talk to the lenders, you get the pre-qualification. The next step is go searching for homes. This is basically the most enjoyable step on the entire buying process, right? Because you are able to, well, not so much. First of all, it's enjoyable because you are able to see all the houses, all the pretty house that on the market or even off market, right? If an agent is good enough, they are able to find you some off market deal as well. And so you are able to see all the houses. You are able to see how beautiful the decoration are in the house and things like that. Very exciting. Spend a moment. Although right now you have to act fast as well, because right now in the seller's market, the home goes faster. So if you don't act quickly and submit the offer on time, you may not be able to get the house in the given time. Okay, so after you search for homes, okay, now after you see a lot of homes on the market, that is the time that we make an offer. All right, so we're going to make an offer. This is again come back to the pre-qualification. You have to have the pre-qualification document ready to be able to do so. Because if you submit an offer without it, some of the listing agent are going to be saying, is she or he, are you qualified for the loan, and how can you pay? Right, so it's really difficult for that situation. There is a question that come in. Okay, how much do I need to buy a house? How much so I guess my assumption for this question is how much as a down payment, right? Because if you have 100% cash, let's say if you want to go out buy a $400,000 home and you have $400,000 cash in the bank account, so that is how much you need. But if you're talking about how much money you need to down on a house, so basically that depend on the loan type, depend on the loan type that you have, that you're gonna get. The down payment is gonna be different. If you have a VA loan, right? If you're qualified for a VA loan, you don't even need to down anything. It's 0% down. If you have a conventional loan, that could be as low as 3%, all the way up to whatever amount that you have. So for a situation that you are going to buy a house for $400,000, right? You only need 12,000. Okay, you only need 12,000. That's not much compared to 400,000, right? And if you do FHA, you may have to do like 3.5% and 5% as the minimum. So it really depends on the loan type that you apply to, and then the down payment is going to be different. But absolutely, it doesn't have to be 100%. Okay, that's a great question. So after you buy, right, you make an offer. The next step is just simply waiting for the waiting for the seller to accept or reject the offer. Okay, and then if we get accepted, then we do the inspection on the house, right? This is the inspection on the house, and next step is based on the inspection. I'm gonna go real quick because I want to emphasize one thing. The whole process right here is so-called back and forth. Right, so it could be going from searching for a house, go making an offer, get rejected, then go back to searching for a house, make an offer again, get rejected, do it again, and then if you get accepted, we do inspection. If we don't like the house after the inspection, we're gonna reject it and do it again. Okay, so everything here could be within. It could. So some of you may ask, how long does it take to buy a house? It's really difficult to answer. Because it depends on how long does it take you to select the right house, right? First of all, how long does it take for the right house to get on the market, for the agent to identify the good property for you to look at, right? How long does it take? How many offers do you have to put to be able to get accepted? And when you get accepted, whether you like the condition of the home or not is really up to you as well. So there's a lot of variable here to determine the length of the buying process. So it's really difficult. Someone may be within a day, okay, or within a week, or within a month, or a couple of months, or a couple of years even, okay. But what we know for sure is after we accept him, okay, the rest is simple. Okay, now before I go to that, I'm gonna emphasize one more thing. I don't know what this is. Okay, sorry. I'm emphasize one thing. This is only inspection. It's not include a lot of things that you need to inspect. It's about the condition of the home. It's about the general area around the home. It's about the neighborhood. It's about the criminal activities in that area. It's about a school district in the area, right? Whatever of a concern to you, you do have to do a research on that. Now, you don't have to do it by yourself, okay? Remember the real estate agent that I was talking about up front? They're supposed to guide you through the process, but you have to tell them what you're concerned about because they cannot read your mind. Okay, they cannot read your mind on what you concern, what concern to you. Some of you may ask, oh, there's a question right there. What are some common concerns? Okay, so there's a lot of concern that I have of. One of the commons is I'm just trying to enter the question here. What are some common concerns? Okay, so schooling, criminal activities, sex offenders, safe area is some of those very common concerns that the buyers have. Okay, now there's a resource for all of those information. Okay, so if you just simply ask your real estate agent, he or she should be able to provide you all the resources available for you as well. Now, by the way, those are, even though those are most common concern, they are, how do I say, less common concern, which may be very important to you, by the way. What if you worry about the pest activity in the area? What if you worry about um, the boundaries of the properties, especially if you buy a property in the rural area, right? What if you worry about that? They are not very concerned to other people, doesn't mean that it is not concerned to you, right? It's a fair question. So I do have a list of 35 things that the buyer should look at and determine whether it is a concern to you, and then tell the listing agents, the buyer's agent, to help you out with identify the resource to solve your problem. If you are interested in receiving the list of 35 items that you should look at, let me know and I will send it to you right away. Okay. All right. So the next step, I mean, after we, of course, if we reject the property due to any of the reason, now we have to go back to look for a house and make an offer again and get accepted, inspect again. And if we get accepted, okay, from now, the only thing left is doing the loan application, completing the loan application. Okay. Now that loan application is typical, take about 2 weeks to almost up to 45 days. 30 days is typical, right? But it could take as long as 45 days. Now, depend on how fast you turn in the documents to the loan officer, and depend on how fast the underwriter review the loan application as well. It's going back and forth. It could be going back and forth multiple times, asking for additional questions, asking for additional documents, right? And everything. And when it is done, right, when the underwriter has no more question, you're gonna reach to the point that it has a status is called clear to close. Okay, when the loan officer say, hey, you have a clear to close status, that means you should be very happy because the loan application is done, is approved. They're gonna send the money to the title company, and the next step is the closing date. That is when you're gonna perform the final walkthrough. That is when you're gonna signing the paperwork, wire the down payment to the title company, and the title company, the lender gonna send the money to the title company as well. And after that day, you officially become the homeowners of the new house. So that concludes the home buying process. Now, some of another, like, how long does it take, right? The question about how long it takes from here, from the loan application, I already said about 30 to 40 days, 45 days. It could be as soon as 2 weeks, but normally, if there's no unique situation, there's no rush to do so. Okay, but it could be as fast that way as well. So this is the entire cycle, the entire process, the entire home buying process, and I hope that the information is helpful to you. Now, if you do have any additional question, there's one question. What about HOA and title? Yes, everything has to be reviewed within the inspection period. You do have the inspection period, okay? The normal contract is when the agent or you write the contract is going to be like 30 days time. You do have the 10 days is the normal language, standard language in the contract, but it could be flexible. It could be 7 days, it could be 5 days, 3 days, depend on that. Okay, what is called inspection period. That is the time frame that you have to do all the check, all the inspection that you need. Okay, within that inspection period, you have to check for general information of the home, whether the AC is good or not, roof is good or not, right? For title and HOA, sometimes it's going to be after the inspection period. But don't worry, because even if the title information come back after the inspection period, you still have 5 days to review the information on the title documents. And if you feel comfortable with that, then move forward with it. If not, you can still disapprove an item and then withdraw. What if the title information come back and say, hey, the owners of the house supposed to be 3 people instead of 1 person, right? And then the other 2 people do not want to sell the house. So there's a problem. Then you cannot move forward, and therefore just cancel the contract, get back the owner's money. Okay, so it really depends. That is the reason why you should have an agent with you. I mean, even though right now I'm providing a general process of how the home buying process works, right? And especially within this step right here, you do really need an experienced and knowledgeable agents to be able to understand and know about the terms and conditions of the contract very well, so that they can guide you through the entire process. Okay. Now, a quick information about the market right now. Even though I know a lot of people are saying that the interest rate is so high, the whole market gonna crash. If you follow my channel, every Monday I provide a market update for Phoenix, Arizona specifically, right? The Phoenix metro area specifically. No real estate data in Phoenix show that there's going to be a crash at this time. Okay, it show actually the price going up every single week, every single day. And in fact, I'm helping many buyers at this time. We do have the multiple offer situation already. Some of the offers in some of the houses in Gilbert I offered the other day, it just get onto the market for about 1 or 2 hours. When we see it, I call, and they already have 8 offers. So imagine if there are 8 offers in one house, how much? What is the price that the seller accept for the house? I'm not sure how much that is, but it's for sure gonna be at least asking, or even higher, right? Because 8 people, I'm for sure that's at least one person gonna offer at asking. Okay, and then the other person gonna offer higher. So you do have to be prepared. Prepare for that situation if you go buying a home in today's market, and don't be surprised if you keep failing and keep submitting. And in other words, you have to keep repeating the process. Okay, so don't be surprised about that, and be patient. Right, rely on your agent as well. There's some tool, some strategy that could help you winning the offers. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. If you have any question about what I provide to you today, feel free to DM me, and I will let you know, answer your question. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye bye.